Imagine being able to stay calm and collected in the middle of a traffic jam, or facing a difficult conversation with your boss, or even dealing with a personal crisis. This is the power of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has helped people for centuries to live happier and more fulfilling lives. Today, we will explore 10 profound lessons from Stoicism that can help you achieve inner peace and mastery over your emotions. Join us on this journey of self-discovery as we explore the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and learn how to apply it to our modern lives. Lesson number 1, embrace what you can control. Epictetus, the Stoic sage, offers us a fundamental lesson that serves as the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, the dichotomy of control. At the heart of this teaching is the recognition that our lives are subject to a fundamental division between elements we can control and those beyond our influence. This concept is pivotal in cultivating a calm and composed demeanor, even in the midst of life's uncertainties. In essence, Epictetus advises us to invest our energy and attention in those aspects of life that fall within our sphere of control. These include our thoughts, actions, intentions, and responses. By directing our focus to what is genuinely within our power, we can navigate life with a sense of purpose and mastery. It is the acknowledgement that our internal world is under our dominion that forms the bedrock of our tranquility. Conversely, external events and circumstances, which often elude our sway, are to be acknowledged as outside the realm of our control. Just as an archer, as exemplified by Epictetus, can aim carefully, draw the bowstring with precision, and release the arrow skillfully yet remain uncertain of the flight's outcome, we must learn to release our attachment to outcomes we cannot govern. This release is not an act of resignation, but an embrace of equanimity in the face of life's inherent unpredictability. Epictetus's metaphor of the archer, who derives contentment from knowing they've exerted their best effort regardless of the target's fate, serves as a potent reminder of the Stoic approach to life. It encourages us to concentrate on our intentions and the dedicated efforts we put forth, accepting that the results are subject to a multitude of external factors. In essence, Stoicism reminds us to seize the reins of our inner world, embracing the dichotomy of control as a powerful tool to maintain a calm and composed disposition in a world where much remains beyond our influence. By concentrating our energies on what we can shape, we free ourselves from the burden of attempting to govern the uncontrollable, allowing us to discover serenity in the knowledge that we've done our utmost with the tools at our disposal. Lesson number 2, choose virtue as your guide. The Stoic philosophy, as espoused by Epictetus, emphasizes the primacy of virtue as the guiding star of a well-lived life. This profound lesson invites us to center our existence around the pursuit of moral excellence and inner integrity. In the Stoic tradition, virtue is not a mere abstraction, but a practical and actionable path to personal transformation. Virtue encompasses a constellation of moral qualities, including wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, which form the bedrock of a virtuous life. Epictetus teaches us that the pursuit of virtue is the highest calling of human beings, transcending the fleeting allure of external success, wealth, or fame. It is the cultivation of an inner character that remains steadfast in the face of life's uncertainties and challenges. By choosing virtue as our guide, we anchor our lives in a moral compass that remains unswayed by external circumstances. The Stoic sage, in embracing virtue, becomes a beacon of moral clarity, a source of inspiration for others, and a living embodiment of inner tranquility. In the Stoic view, the pursuit of virtue is not contingent upon external rewards or recognition. It is an intrinsic and self-rewarding endeavor, bestowing upon the virtuous individual a profound serenity that transcends the vicissitudes of life. Epictetus's teachings invite us to cultivate virtue in our daily lives, to align our thoughts and actions with moral principles, and to become architects of our own character. By choosing virtue as our guiding star, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and self-transformation that leads to a life of purpose and fulfillment. This Stoic lesson challenges us to transcend the superficial and fleeting pursuits that often dominate our existence, urging us to elevate our aspirations to the realm of moral excellence. It is an invitation to live a life of significance, guided by the enduring light of virtue, and to find profound serenity in the knowledge that we are living in alignment with our highest principles. Lesson number 3: the power of acceptance. In the grand tapestry of Stoic philosophy, few figures stand as tall as the Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius. His profound insights, often chiseled in the timeless monument of Meditations, resonate through the ages and illuminate one of the most powerful lessons in Stoicism, the lesson of acceptance. Marcus Aurelius guides us through a profound exploration of the human condition, acknowledging the inevitability of both triumph and tribulation. Life, as he observes, is a symphony of ups and downs, a constant ebb and flow. Within this ever-shifting landscape, there exist circumstances beyond our influence, elements we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius, in his role as a Stoic sage, extols the virtue of accepting these immutable truths. To accept, in the Stoic sense, is to embrace the reality of life's unpredictability and impermanence. It is to release the chains of attachment to specific outcomes and to walk in harmony with the unceasing rhythm of the universe. In Marcus Aurelius's words, resistance to the natural course of events leads only to turmoil and distress. Like a ship struggling against the relentless current, the Stoic perspective on acceptance is akin to setting sail on the sea of existence without a fixed destination, yet with an unwavering faith in the voyage itself. It is an invitation to relinquish the desire for unyielding control and, instead, flow with the ever-changing stream of life, to dance with the music of the cosmos, whether its notes are serene or tempestuous. This is the embodiment of Stoic temperance. In the realm of Stoicism, this lesson forms the bedrock of inner peace and tranquility. It urges us to open our arms to life's capriciousness, to savor the sweetness of success, and to weather the storms of adversity with grace. The power of acceptance, as illuminated by Marcus Aurelius, is a beacon that guides us through the labyrinth of existence, allowing us to greet each moment, each circumstance, with an equanimous heart. It is the serenity of embracing life in all its unpredictability, finding profound serenity in the midst of its ever-shifting landscape. Lesson number 4: cultivate inner strength. The Stoic philosophy, embodied by Seneca the Younger, reminds us that the cultivation of inner strength is a vital facet of living a life characterized by equanimity and resilience. Seneca's teachings urge us to forge our inner fortitude, to become steadfast souls who are impervious to the trials and tribulations of life. In a world where external events often serve as formidable adversaries, Seneca implores us to arm ourselves with the shield of Stoic wisdom. This wisdom enables us to confront life's challenges with unwavering resolve, to endure hardship with stoicism, and to embrace adversity as a crucible for our growth. At the heart of Seneca's teachings lies the notion that we are endowed with the power to shape our inner world, to mold our thoughts and attitudes in accordance with our values and principles. This internal dominion grants us an impervious citadel from which we can face life's storms with unwavering courage. Seneca's lessons on inner strength illuminate the importance of self-mastery, urging us to transform ourselves into resolute individuals who are unswayed by external events. The pursuit of wisdom, in Seneca's view, is not a passive endeavor, but an active one. It is a lifelong journey of self-cultivation and self-discipline. By honing our inner strength, we become the architects of our own character, forging our moral compass to withstand the most challenging of circumstances. We discover the profound serenity that arises from knowing that, regardless of external turmoil, our inner citadel remains unassailable. In embracing this Stoic lesson, we liberate ourselves from the tyranny of external events, finding strength in the knowledge that our inner world is our most formidable asset. It is through the mastery of our thoughts, emotions, and desires that we attain the indomitable strength to face life's trials and tribulations with grace and equanimity. Lesson number 5. Practice mindful reflection. The Stoic philosophy, as illuminated by Marcus Aurelius, extols the practice of mindful reflection as a powerful tool for self-awareness, self-improvement, and inner tranquility. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless work, Meditations, offers us a glimpse into the inner sanctum of his Stoic wisdom, where the practice of introspection takes center stage. Mindful reflection, in the Stoic tradition, is not a passive or casual endeavor, but a deliberate and disciplined practice. It involves turning our gaze inward, examining our thoughts, emotions, and actions with clarity and discernment. It is a journey into the depths of our own consciousness, a quest for self-knowledge and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to engage in a daily practice of introspection, akin to a philosopher examining the contents of their own mind. This introspective journey enables us to gain insight into our habitual patterns of thought and behavior, to identify areas in need of improvement, and to cultivate a deeper understanding of our own character. The Stoic sage, in practicing mindful reflection, becomes an astute observer of their own inner landscape. They question their own beliefs and assumptions, challenge their irrational desires, and refine their moral compass. This process of self-examination leads to a profound transformation of character, fostering virtues such as wisdom, humility, and temperance. Mindful reflection also serves as a potent antidote to the tumultuous currents of emotions. It allows us to gain distance from our emotional reactions, to discern their underlying causes, and to respond with greater equanimity and wisdom. It is a powerful tool for breaking the chains of reactivity and achieving emotional resilience. In the midst of life's challenges, mindful reflection provides a sanctuary of inner stillness and clarity. It allows us to navigate the storms of external events with a composed and discerning mind. When confronted with adversity, we can pause, reflect, and choose our response wisely, rather than reacting impulsively based on fleeting emotions. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations serves as a timeless testament to the transformative power of mindful reflection. His writings are a testament to the inner dialogues of a Stoic sage who, through rigorous introspection, sought to align his thoughts and actions with the highest principles of virtue. The practice of mindful reflection, as prescribed by the Stoic tradition, is a journey of self-discovery that unfolds with patience and dedication. It is an invitation to turn our attention inward, to become intimate with the workings of our own mind, and to cultivate the inner serenity that arises from self-awareness and self-mastery. In essence, Stoicism teaches us that the most profound journey is the journey into the depths of our own consciousness. Through the practice of mindful reflection, we gain insight into the inner workings of our thoughts and emotions, uncover the true nature of our desires and fears, and ultimately discover the path to inner tranquility and wisdom. Lesson number 6. Embrace impermanence and mortality. Seneca, the Stoic sage, beckons us to confront the twin specters of impermanence and mortality with unwavering courage. In doing so, we can unearth a profound serenity that transcends the transient nature of existence. In the Stoic tradition, the contemplation of one's mortality is not an exercise in morbidity, but an invitation to fully embrace life. Seneca's teachings guide us to confront our mortality, not with fear or denial, but with a profound sense of urgency and purpose. By acknowledging the finite nature of our existence, we are propelled to seize the precious moments of life with unwavering commitment. Each breath becomes a reminder of our mortality, an impetus to live virtuously, and a call to action to fulfill our potential. Seneca reminds us that life is not an infinite resource to be squandered, but a finite treasure to be cherished. In recognizing the impermanence of all things, we are liberated from the shackles of attachment to ephemeral pleasures and fleeting desires. This Stoic lesson invites us to embrace the fleeting beauty of life, to savor each moment with gratitude, and to live in alignment with our highest values and principles. It encourages us to nurture our relationships, to seek wisdom, and to contribute to the well-being of others. The contemplation of our own mortality serves as a powerful catalyst for self-transformation, inspiring us to let go of trivial concerns and focus on what truly matters. It is a profound call to awaken to the magnificence of life and to embrace its ephemerality with an open heart. In essence, Stoicism reminds us that our mortality is not a cause for despair, but a source of inspiration. It is the crucible in which the alchemy of a meaningful life is forged. By embracing impermanence and mortality, we can discover a profound serenity that transcends the temporal and touches the eternal. Lesson number 7. Exercise self-restraint. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, extols the virtue of self-restraint as a cornerstone of a well-lived life. He invites us to harness the power of moderation and temperance, transcending the allure of excess and indulgence. In the Stoic tradition, self-restraint is not an act of repression or asceticism, but a conscious choice to align our desires with reason and virtue. It is the ability to discern between our genuine needs and transient wants, to govern our appetites, and to refrain from impulsive or harmful actions. Seneca reminds us that the pursuit of pleasure for its own sake can lead to a life of enslavement, where our desires become tyrannical masters. In contrast, the Stoic sage exercises self-restraint to liberate themselves from the chains of excess and indulgence, finding true freedom in the mastery of their own desires. The practice of self-restraint allows us to transcend the fleeting gratification of immediate pleasures in favor of enduring well-being and inner tranquility. It empowers us to make choices that are in alignment with our highest principles and values. Seneca's teachings on self-restraint extend beyond the realm of physical indulgence to encompass emotional mastery. The Stoic sage exercises control over their emotional reactions, choosing to respond with wisdom and equanimity rather than being carried away by the tides of passion. By cultivating self-restraint, we become architects of our own character, forging a moral compass that guides us through life's temptations and challenges. It is through the practice of moderation that we discover the profound serenity that arises from living in accordance with our principles and exercising dominion over our desires. In the Stoic view, self-restraint is not a stifling of our humanity, but a liberation of our higher nature. It empowers us to live a life of dignity and integrity, where our actions are in harmony with our values and our desires are aligned with reason and virtue. Before we move on to number 8 on our list, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to never miss out any of our videos about Stoicism and the way you can master your life. Lesson number 8. Practice gratitude and contentment. The Stoic philosophy, as articulated by Seneca, encourages us to cultivate the virtues of gratitude and contentment as essential ingredients for a life of inner peace and fulfillment. Seneca's teachings remind us that happiness is not contingent upon external circumstances, but is an inner state of being that can be cultivated through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude, in the Stoic tradition, is not a passive or occasional sentiment, but an active and ongoing practice. It involves recognizing and appreciating the blessings and opportunities that exist in our lives, regardless of their scale or significance. Seneca advises us to reflect upon the many gifts we have received, the gift of life, health, relationships, and the capacity for reason. By acknowledging these gifts and expressing gratitude for them, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we possess, from scarcity to abundance. The practice of gratitude also serves as a powerful antidote to the insatiable pursuit of more. Seneca reminds us that the desire for endless accumulation and consumption is a path to perpetual dissatisfaction. Instead, he encourages us to find contentment in the present moment, appreciating what we have rather than constantly seeking what we lack. Seneca's teachings on gratitude and contentment challenge us to break free from the cycle of desire and discontent. They invite us to savor the richness of each moment, to find joy in life's simple pleasures, and to recognize that true abundance is not measured by external possessions, but by the richness of the human spirit. In practicing gratitude and contentment, we discover a profound serenity that arises from an inner state of sufficiency. We become free from the restlessness of always wanting more and find fulfillment in the present moment. Lesson number 9. Embrace adversity as a teacher. The Stoic philosophy, as embodied by Marcus Aurelius, offers a profound lesson on the transformative power of adversity. Marcus Aurelius, in his role as a Stoic sage and Roman emperor, faced numerous trials and tribulations throughout his life. Yet he viewed these challenges not as curses, but as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Adversity, in the Stoic tradition, is not to be feared or avoided, but embraced as a potent teacher. It is through facing life's difficulties and hardships that we have the opportunity to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that adversity is an inherent part of the human experience, a universal condition that transcends individual circumstances. Whether we encounter illness, loss, failure, or betrayal, these trials serve as mirrors that reflect our character and reveal areas in need of refinement. The Stoic sage, when confronted with adversity, does not succumb to despair or self-pity, but chooses to meet challenges with courage and equanimity. They recognize that adversity, like a forge, tempers the soul, refining it into a vessel of greater strength and resilience. In the face of adversity, Marcus Aurelius advises us to maintain our inner composure, to focus on what is within our control, and to view difficulties as opportunities for personal growth. Adversity, in his view, is a stern but benevolent instructor, guiding us towards greater self-awareness and self-mastery. By embracing adversity as a teacher, we transcend the victim mentality and discover the profound serenity that arises from knowing we have the capacity to endure and grow stronger through life's challenges. We recognize that, in the crucible of adversity, our character is not diminished but refined, and our spirit is not broken but forged into greater resilience. This Stoic lesson challenges us to shift our perspective on adversity, seeing it not as a source of suffering but as a catalyst for transformation. It invites us to walk the path of self-improvement with fortitude and grace, finding wisdom and strength in the crucible of life's trials. Lesson number 10. Live in harmony with nature. The Stoic philosophy, as exemplified by Epictetus, encourages us to live in harmony with nature, aligning our desires and expectations with the inherent order of the universe. This profound lesson invites us to accept the fundamental nature of reality and find serenity in the recognition that the universe operates according to its own immutable laws. Living in harmony with nature, in the Stoic tradition, means acknowledging that there are aspects of life beyond our control. It involves recognizing that external events, other people's actions, and the unpredictabilities of the world are not within our sphere of influence. Instead of resisting or resenting these inevitable aspects of existence, Stoicism teaches us to accept them with equanimity. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, distinguishes between what is within our control, our thoughts, emotions, desires, and actions, and what is beyond our control, everything else. He advises us to focus our attention and efforts solely on what is within our control, and to release attachment to outcomes that are beyond our influence. By living in harmony with nature in this way, we free ourselves from the turmoil of frustration, anxiety, and disappointment that often accompanies our futile attempts to control the uncontrollable. Instead, we find peace in surrendering to the natural order of the world and adapting to it with wisdom and grace. The Stoic view of living in harmony with nature is not a passive resignation, but an active engagement with life. It encourages us to use our reason to make sound judgments and choices, to cultivate virtues like courage and wisdom, and to live in accordance with our values and principles. In embracing this Stoic lesson, we discover a profound serenity that arises from aligning our inner world with the external world, from accepting life as it unfolds, and from recognizing that our true power lies in the mastery of our own mind and actions. The Stoic philosophy offers a profound and timeless guide to living a life of inner serenity, wisdom, and virtue. These 10 lessons encapsulate key principles and practices that can help us navigate the challenges and uncertainties of life with grace and resilience. By incorporating Stoic wisdom into our daily lives, we can cultivate a profound serenity that arises from mastering our own mind, aligning our desires with reason and virtue, and living in harmony with the natural order of the universe. Stoicism invites us to embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery and self-mastery, leading to a life of enduring happiness and fulfillment. Click here to watch 10 Stoic lessons to handle pain and suffering. See you there in a second. Be Stoic. Stay Stoic.